go and sit in the Vapi market, which was just outside Vapi station. Sit there and sell these. And he explained how much to sell at. I was allowed to bargain somewhat, and how much money I should finally bring. So a porter came, dropped that and went away, and it was left to me. So I had to get the customers, sell them, keep track of the money I'm collecting, and then I successfully sold all the chicos and brought money home and gave him, and he said, "You've done a good job."
When you were 10?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Okay.
And then he sent me a few times. So the whole idea was to train me. And he wanted me to really learn from early childhood. I didn't know, why he sent me, but I enjoyed. At that age, I had fun.
Okay.
We also had a family shop. And my father was a doctor, but we used to have a shop due to, division in the family. And we had a partner. And I used to go to the shop and really help out during festivals and whenever they needed. And I used to work with other salespeople. And there again, I learned about customers. I learned about how salespeople behaved, how they looked at things. So again, unknowingly, not that I was so conscious that I'm learning. I was just working and helping out. But again, I learned so much. So I would say then again, while doing CA, I'm a chartered accountant, and while doing articles, I used to go on audits or do taxation. And being in a very good CA firm, Dalal Desai Kumana, I got a lot of exposure to corporates. And when I used to go, I would really see how the business works and not so get obsessed with accounts and audit.
Okay.
So all this, I think, created a foundation. And I was very clear that one thing is there, I may run a small business, whatever, but I'll be on my own. I'm not going to do a job.
Sorry, just before we get to that though, when you started off this as Aptech, but did you have the capital to be able to do this? How did you, there is a point, right? A lot of people want to start businesses, but they have the fear of either losing their monthly paycheck or the fear of the inability to raise capital to do the business. How did that happen for you? If you can tell us a bit about that during Aptech days.
Once I started the computer education business with just one center, yeah, I had extra space in my office and with just little bit of capital. Yeah, it was not big amount at all.
Okay.
But the response was phenomenal. So I thought maybe you are doing something right, Why is there such great response? So income started from beginning. We really didn't make loss even for a month. So we could easily reinvest. And I never thought of taking money home, it was only thought was keeping money in the company. I don't think I ever withdrew money from the company. Even when I ran publicly listed companies, I used to draw very less salary.
Okay.
So it was always, I believed in reinvesting. So the company kept growing and we could reinvest. And finally the time came when we wanted to grow bigger way, we had to get listed.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so one is Aptech, and you started that off, and you saw that what you could do in India very well, you could do globally as well, and therefore you expanded it. Fabulous journey, by the way, that too. But then I believe you started Aptech in 1985, and you conceived the roots of Hexaware within the next 5 years as well. But at that point of time, it was not their software export industry from India was well discovered, right?
Yes.
So I would love to know the mindset. How did you manage to think of conceiving an idea like that, wherein an Indian company, not necessarily the country which was exposed to the world very well, could set up an industry which could be a global leading industry?
So I remember around 1989,
Okay.
one management consultant approached me that he's report on Indian software industry,
Okay.
and he wanted sponsorship. So I became one of the sponsors to that report
This was through Aptech.
through Aptech, that I will get the report as a result of that.
Okay.
And the report said that the software export industry, I'm talking about the export part, domestic was pretty small anyway, and not even profitable. So the export from India is less than $100 million.
Okay.
100 million.
Right.
So it's a very tiny industry. And TCS was the dominant company, and Tata's contributed some 40% that time between the two companies. So he didn't really recommend that I should start a software company. But the more I thought about it, the more I got convinced that here is an industry, then no big business house is there, and Tata is the only, which are very professionally run company, TCS or Tata Burrows, which became Tata Unisys. So really it is a professionals who are running companies and not business houses. So there is potential to get in, and I will not need too much funding for that. And computer talk was there all over the world, you know. We were going through major computerization worldwide.
Right.
And I believe that our Indian talent is very good. We were training people, and we saw at Aptech that our youngsters are very, very bright. The way they are able to learn computers was amazing. So I thought we can use our Indian talent abroad. And of course, there's some personal kick that I want to have an office in US and have our Indian flag high in America.
Amazing.
And that's how we started Hexaware with main business in the US. And we didn't have any anchor client. We didn't have any connect in the US industry to get us any business. It was just pure greenfield, knock the door, try to get business.
Wow. Okay. So what gave you the confidence of the right to win here? Just trying to understand the mindset.
Well, I guess, not too calculating. We didn't make a project report.
Okay.
And it was just exciting opportunity, I thought. And the biggest thing was that we as Indians will go and work in America and in Europe subsequently. That I felt was a matter of pride.
Hi, I'm Tamanna Inamdar. Watch me on NDTV Profit, where I break down the day's biggest business stories. What happened, why it matters, and what it means for your money.
Hi, I'm Neeraj Shah. Watch me on NDTV Profit for the most incisive market intelligence and meaningful corporate conversations.
And I'm Alex Matthew. Markets, mutual funds, insurance, personal finance. I help you cut through the noise and make smarter financial choices. And here's where you can watch us.
When the headlines move fast, perspective matters. On Editor's Cut, our editors come together with experts to distill the week's information plates into clear perspective. Down the stories shaping the world, from markets and the economy to global conflicts and what lies ahead. This is where experience meets insight. No noise, no hype, just sharp takes on what to watch next. Editor's Cut, every Friday, 3:30 p.m. only on NDTV Profit.
And the award goes to
Tamanna Inamdar, Managing Editor, NDTV Profit.
I would love to expand this conversation to what you're doing right now. But just before that, because we have this current situation on what's happening, etc., would you have a thought on what could happen to the IT sector and thereby to this great engine of exporting services from India to the world because of what AI might do or automation might do or whatever newer practices might do? It's a burning question. A lot of people have desire to understand this. Have you given this some thought?
Yeah, I think AI is a reality now. It's not about choice. It is a structural reset that has happened for Indian software industry and as time goes for every single industry. So a lot of areas that Indian IT industry had very successfully been focusing on, whether it is coding, that is a part of software development, testing services, where you test a software that is made, and support and maintenance for a particular system that is working in a company. All these can were contributing for, it vary from company to company, but it could be as high as 50% of company's revenue or even higher. All these services will be threatened. They will keep reducing as time goes because coding, you don't need people. AI can do coding for you. AI can do testing of the software, and AI can maintain a particular system or a software working in a company. So requirement of people will keep coming down there. So it is no more going to be a model based on number of people involved in a project. It will be shifted to skills.
Okay.
And anyone who has any interest in being a part of software industry will have to become expert at AI.
My last question. For the next 5-6 years, sir, what are the pockets that you believe are truly sunrise in India? They may not be young. They may be already existing, but have a good runway of growth ahead of them. This will be helpful in two ways: for investors to look at those pockets, and also for people who are thinking of where to put in money to work or a business idea or becoming a startup entrepreneur. Where is it that you find promise within this Indian ecosystem currently?
See, I think the digital companies which have lately not done well in terms of valuation, the stock prices have fallen a lot. And if there is patience while investing, I think digital companies can give a very good return.
You mean food aggregators, insurance aggregators, other digital tech-enabled companies?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Tech-enabled companies can give very good return going forward. But it will need some patience there.
Okay.
And one may not immediately see. Also, I feel the overall, if you see, Indian market today has corrected a lot. In even recent past, more than almost any other country.
Sure. Yeah.
And compared to emerging countries, we have been gross underperformer. So I think with valuations set right now, I think we will see a good growth period for the companies in terms of stock price valuation over next 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
So I think that lot of opportunity across many sectors, I would say.
Well, I invite you very soon, sir, to come on air on NDTV Profit as a
Sure.
markets guest.
Thank you.
Not necessarily just as, as
Thank
an
you.
exceptional entrepreneur. No,
Thank
but,
you,
no,
thank
but
you.
truly, Mr. Nishar, it has
Thank
been
you.
a privilege today to learn so much from you. And I know I've missed many facets of what a exceptional entrepreneurial life that you've led, but this is food for thought in many ways, and I'm sure our viewers are going to enjoy listening and re-listening to this whole piece again.
No, thanks, Neeraj, very much. You made me revisit my past.
This is courtesy, this wonderful thought of doing exceptionals by Nuvama Private, that we get to do this wonderful set of conversations, and today has been no different. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, thank you.
And viewers, thanks for tuning in to yet another exceptional episode of The Exceptionals.
Hi, I'm Tamanna Inamdar. Watch me on NDTV Profit, where I break down the day's biggest business stories. What happened, why it matters, and what it means for your money.
Hi, I'm Neeraj Shah. Watch me on NDTV Profit for the most incisive market intelligence and meaningful corporate conversations.
And I'm Alex Matthew. Markets, mutual funds, insurance, personal finance. I help you cut through the noise and make smarter financial choices. And here's where you can watch us.
When the headlines move fast, perspective matters. On Editor's Cut, our editors come together with experts to distill the week's information plates into clear perspective. Down the stories shaping the world, from markets and the economy to global conflicts and what lies ahead. This is where experience meets insight. No noise, no hype, just sharp takes on what to watch next. Editor's Cut, every Friday, 3:30 p.m. only on NDTV Profit.
And the award goes to
Tamanna Inamdar, Managing Editor, NDTV Profit.
Leading the newsroom, shaping the narrative. From stories to impact, a voice that matters. Tamanna Inamdar, among India's most influential, power, purpose and perspective recognized. NDTV Profit's editorial force gets industry-wide acclaim. He has been tracking markets for over a decade, spots the trends before they hit the screen. And he is now bringing his analysis to the show that the market watches. Watch Sharad Dubey on Know Your Company, a show that puts the most traded stocks under the scanner. We dissect the company so that you, the investor, don't have to. Get the management to answer questions relevant to you. Watch Know Your Company, weekdays at 11:30 a.m. to understand your next big bet. New year. New power panel. India market open. Now in its boldest lineup. This is where the trends get tested and stocks get conviction.
I'll recommend a buy call on a stock only when I'm fully convinced on the stock. With a table thumping buy.
And When the street wants the levels, he brings the chart.
Charts speak the truth, and I deliver the levels with no frills.
Parag Thakkar and Kush Bohra are now part of the morning crew with Tamanna, Neeraj and Alex. Same show, sharper voices. Every morning on India Market Open, your favorite market show just got better. On NDTV Profit, for your profit.
Hello and welcome to your favorite technology show from Maximum City. It's a little hot and humid here in Mumbai, across the country, but that doesn't stop us from bringing you the hottest action from the world of AI and tech. I'm your host Ayush Elavadi. There's a lot that we are cramming into your favorite technology show, Tech 360. Let's get the show started. If you're worried about AI taking away your job in 2026, well then here's a reality check. In the next 90 seconds, I'm going to show you how AI could probably, in our entire team, replace the camera person, a video editor, a graphics designer, a producer, and maybe even me. Let me show you. What's real and what's a reel? For instance, I'm standing here enjoying the view at the promenade, and this looks like a phone to you. But now, in a second, it's something else. And it could be something else as well. Maybe the new iPhone foldable that's launched. No, there's so much more I can do with objects in my hand, and I don't even need a video editor. And if you think this is a lovely view, or you like last week's mountain view, well, then that can change in an instant as well with a singular prompt. And by the way, even if I had a green screen around me to change situations, to change locations and backgrounds, that is probably the toughest job for a video editor and a graphics designer. My team concurs. But just have a look at this. I could be, in fact, fast forwarding to a month from now, seated at the FIFA World Cup, not here in Mumbai, enjoying my favorite game. All of this using AI. And we've done this using Google's Flow. Essentially, that's how we've been generating some of these things with singular prompts, but it is Google Flow and Google Omni, stuff that we showed you in theory last week. But we thought, let's bring it here to Mumbai, put it through its paces, and then show you how AI could essentially replace the graphic designer, the video editor, the camera person, the producer, the content creator, and me as well. I rest my case. Let's be honest, foldables have been around for a while now. But outside Samsung Galaxy's Z Fold series, this is in its 7th generation, very few devices have truly managed to capture mainstream attention. The problem has never really been the concept. It's been the price. Spending close to flagship level laptop money on a smartphone still feels excessive for most people. And while Apple is expected to eventually enter the foldable space, maybe later this year, potentially pushing the category into the mainstream the way it did with smartwatches and tablets, brands like Motorola are already trying to make foldables more accessible. The new Moto Razer Fold feels like the strongest attempt yet. Now, if you look at this device at first glance, the Razer Fold looks every bit like a premium foldable. Just like the Samsung, you get a massive 8.1-inch LTPO AMOLED inner display with a 120Hz refresh rate and up to 6,200 nits of peak brightness. That's fairly good for even a hot and sultry evening here in Mumbai. Now, the outer 6.6-inch cover screen runs at an even smoother 165 Hz. Now, Motorola has clearly focused on making both displays equally usable. And that makes a big difference in daily use, by the way. The form factor feels polished. Honestly, when I'm holding it, it feels a little bit like the Vivo device because I think the way the edges have been rounded a bit and the overall build quality, and that's not a criticism because the Vivo Fold is a fairly popular device as well. Now, the hinge mechanism is solid, and unlike some early foldables, this doesn't feel like a fragile experiment anymore. Let's talk about performance, because performance is flagship grade too. That's because it's powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 chipset paired with up to 16 gigs of RAM and UFS 4.1 storage. This keeps everything extremely fluid, whether you're multitasking across different split screen apps, gaming or editing videos. Basically, if you're multitasking on this device and want to use all this real estate, this performs like a flagship foldable, just like the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. And this is many generations later. This is an early device in the Motorola lineup. But remember, Motorola is the Razer OG, and they understood flip phones and some form of foldables over the years. So this is the first, textbook-like foldable that we're getting from them. But Motorola is also promising 7 years of OS and security updates, which is a huge step forward for Android foldables. Software optimization still isn't as mature though as Samsung's ecosystem, but the experience is surprisingly close, like I said earlier. In fact, this is where the Razer Fold really stands out. It delivers nearly 80% of the Galaxy Z Fold premium experience at 60% of the price point? 30,000 rupees nearly cheaper than this device. Now, the cameras are a pleasant surprise. I was at CES Las Vegas and I attended a Motorola pop-up sort of an event where they were showcasing and showboating how the AI works on some of their cameras, how they've tweaked the sensors. Now they've given you that camera prowess in a foldable. So you get a triple 50 megapixel setup, including a Sony lithium main sensor, an ultra-wide, and a proper periscope telephoto lens with optical image stabilization. Foldables usually compromise on cameras to save space. Look, at the end of the day, this is a very slim form factor, and that's why probably some of the cameras have not gotten there yet. They're great on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, but it's taken a while for them to get that good. Motorola hasn't cut too many corners here. Photos have good dynamic range and colors look vibrant without being over-processed. And the flexibility of using the cover display for selfies generally changes how you capture content. I've been using that on foldables for the longest time. If you can use this camera to take a selfie, whilst this is open, you get a great reference point. Also, when you're using gestures on Android phones, it's so much more intuitive than actually capturing a photo on an iPhone. There, I said it. Now, the Moto Razer Fold may not dethrone Samsung overnight, but honestly, it doesn't need to. What it does is it makes foldables feel more realistic for a larger audience. If Apple eventually enters this category, foldables could not become mainstream, but they would at least capture a larger attention of the end consumer. But until then, Motorola deserves the credit for bringing the experience closer to somewhat affordable, and of course, without stripping away the flagship. For anyone curious about foldables but unwilling to spend the big bucks on the Galaxy Z Fold, this might prove to be the most sensible entry point yet. But from Mountain View to this view in Mumbai, the jet lag is officially kicking in. But we're still going to bring you this high-octane show. There's a lot more on the other side of a commercial break. I'll see you there.
Hi, I'm Tamanna Inamdar. Watch me on NDTV Profit, where I break down the day's biggest business stories. What happened, why it matters, and what it means for your money.
Hi, I'm Neeraj Shah. Watch me on NDTV Profit for the most incisive market intelligence and meaningful corporate conversation.
And I'm Alex Matthew. Markets, mutual funds, insurance, personal finance. I help you cut through the noise and make smarter financial choices. And here's where you can watch us.
When the headlines move fast, perspective matters. On Editor's Cut, our editors come together with experts to distill the week's information blitz into clear perspective. Down the stories shaping the world, from markets and the economy to global conflicts and what lies ahead. This is where experience meets insight. No noise, no hype, just sharp takes on what to watch next. Editor's Cut, every Friday, 3:30 p.m. only on NDTV Profit.
And the award goes to
Tamanna Inamdar, Managing Editor, NDTV Profit.
Leading the newsroom, shaping the narrative. From stories to impact, a voice that matters. Tamanna Inamdar, among India's most influential, power, purpose and perspective recognized. NDTV Profit's editorial force gets industry-wide acclaim. He has been tracking markets for over a decade, spots the trends before they hit the screen. And he is now bringing his analysis to the show that the market